Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think you're doing incredible today. I'm not surprised. Mom, how are you doing? Good?
I told her not to react no matter what.
That's probably harder for her than it is for you. Well, listen, we've talked about this over the years. So for me, I didn't know any lawyers growing up. I'm trying to think when I actually met a lawyer in my life. I grew up in a really blue-collar neighborhood, but I was attracted to the law because I felt like it gave guardrails for people to pursue their dreams, right? That you would be on equal footing. And I think that your fights for the little guy, I referenced this in the opening statements, are admirable. And, you got some questions earlier about, are you willing to stand up against corporate interests, or are you willing to fight back? I mean, I think you've demonstrated that, right?
I think we did it together when we were attorneys general as well.
Yeah, your client is the people, and it's your job to fight for them, because in these jobs, especially even a local prosecutor, I think is even more appropriate scenario. There's only one local prosecutor. There's only one prosecutor in that county. So it's interesting when we have these discussions about some of these prosecutors across the country, and Senator Hawley and I know there's been a couple in Missouri, and they're all around. When they decide not to charge violent criminals, there's nobody else who can do that. There's nobody else that can do that. One of the things that when I was Attorney General we were able to do when President Trump was in office, sadly the Biden administration dropped this effort, was we had assistant AGs deputized as assistant U.S. attorneys to help fight violent crime, to add capacity. And when, there was a surge to take on some of the most violent criminals on the streets, we were there to help. Those are the kind of partnerships I'm guessing that you'll look towards, right? To get back to the core mission of taking on violent crime and fighting for the little guy. So I wanted to give you a little bit of an opportunity to talk about that. And also, sort of what's your vision? You're answering a lot of questions. What's your vision for the department? I mean, how do you see your role? How do you want to go do that? I think you're incredibly qualified to do it, but just in your own words, what are the things that you're going to focus on?
Senator, it's truly overwhelming when you look at the volume of that department. The Department of Justice, it is the largest law firm in the world and manages the largest law enforcement agencies. And that's why, first and foremost, what I did when I was Attorney General, you surround yourself with great people. And that includes Gail Slater, that includes my chief of staff, if I am confirmed, my deputy, and so on and so on, and work from there, but look at each and every department. And I don't know if one department is more important than the other, but I will work very hard every day. And as Senator Welsh had said, it's not only fighting crime. I think that's just first and foremost on Americans' minds right now. But that's why there is an entire huge civil division that falls under the Department of Justice to protect consumers, to do the antitrust cases, to do all the Medicare cases, to do all of the other cases. So it's multifaceted. But first and foremost, of course, to keep America safe and restore integrity to that department. I don't think I can stress enough that 72% of Americans have lost faith in the Department of Justice.
Yeah, and I think that the belief that the American people need to have, again, is that people are going to be treated the same. As you said earlier, there's only one tier. There's not two tiers of justice. And I think that's, when you really dig down to some of the comments you've heard and questions, at least on this side, that's the big concern. I don't want it tilted in anybody's direction. You just want it to be fair. And you want certainly the top law enforcement official in the country to view it that way. I think you do. And I think your history, your qualifications, your demeanor, your character warrant a bipartisan vote. I hope you get it. I really do. You deserve it.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator Blumenthal.